Welcome into the friendly confines of Jefferson High School here in beautiful Jefferson, Ohio on a cold Tuesday evening. It's a CVC Lake Division clash on CVC TV tonight. The presenting sponsor of CVC TV is the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. You can contact them at ohsurgery.com. I'm Cameron Palmer. With me tonight is AA Anthony Alford. Anthony, how are we doing?
Man, this is going to be something special here tonight here in the Lake Division. We're going to get through all of it here tonight, but glad to be back here with basketball. Of course, you filling in for Kyle, celebrated a holiday. His end, he'll be back with us later in the week, but Cameron in for a good one here tonight.
Absolutely. We got some notes and all the tips and tricks that are going to go into this one tonight. We're looking forward to it. I just saw Madison very recently last week against Perry, looking to get back on track. Jefferson got back to winning after a two-game losing streak with a big win in December, believe it or not, which sounds crazy to say. So teams that, one side's trying to keep the good vibes going, the other side's trying to get back on track as conference play is starting to ramp up, and we're really starting to get towards that middle of the season where things start to get interesting, and that's when I have the most fun doing my job.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's great covering these kids, and again, thank you all for tuning in. Let's start with Madison. As you mentioned, you covered Madison, their game against Perry, and I like what Max Steele, number 3. You're going to see him a lot tonight on the Blue Streaks side of things. I like what he said to you during the post game. He's like, look, listen, 45. You only give up 45 points defensively. Their main focus is defense. That should be enough to win the game, but the offense just wasn't able to put it together, and I think that's going to be the main focus for Madison tonight is this team, how can they put it together offensively?
And I asked Coach Gustin about it post-game. It's even in my store. You can go read it at SugarValleyConference.com. He said Jefferson's a skilled veteran team. He said they have to get back to what they do well, start sharing the basketball, and if they do that and they make the correct plays, they can have a good chance at success tonight and even for the rest of the season that is to come. As you can see, we are getting set to do starting lineups in the national anthem, so we'll send it on down to the PA announcer, and we will come back after.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jefferson Area High School through its athletic department extends each of you a cordial welcome to tonight's contest between the Blue Streaks of Madison High School and your own Jefferson Falcons. And now, to honor America and give respect to all who have served our country defending our freedoms, would you please rise to your able and remove all caps for the playing of our national anthem. Jefferson Area High School and Madison High School, Jefferson Ohio High School Athletic Association, and Ceremonies Valley Conference. The Ceremonies Valley Conference expects all areas, fans, employees, officials, and spectators to refrain from making any negative comments or remarks or displaying disrespectful behaviors related to any and all persons regardless of their race, color, national origin, religion, sex, sexual orientation, and any other protected class. Violators will be asked to leave the premises and may be banned from attending future Sugar Valley Conference events. If you witness any type of negative behavior, please report this behavior to a school administrator, game worker, or the nearest law enforcement officer. The officials assigned to this game have been assigned and selected according to procedures adopted by the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Tonight's officials are Brian D'Angelo, Andrew Weil, and Adam Schaefer. And now let's meet tonight's starters. First up for the visiting, Madison Blue Streaks. At bar number 2, Dom Magdala. At bar number 3, Max Steele. At bar number 12, Nolan Albert. At bar number 15, Landon Tonko. And at guard number 34, Brendan Tickman. Head coach of the Blue Streaks is Nick Gustin, assistant Brian Tickman, and Max Ungers. And now, Falcon fans, on your feet! It's time to be your starting lineup for your Jefferson Falcons! A 5'7" sophomore guard, number 12, Preston Hitchcock. On 6'3", junior forward, number 5, Dylan Shetler. On 6'3", junior forward, number 30, Henry Brown. And on 5 is senior guard, number 3, Louis Padilla. And on 6'3", senior forward, number 2, Anthony Cavetta. Your Falcons are led by Coach Rob Masano, assisted by Brock Bean and Bonnie Ray. Good luck, gentlemen.
And welcome back to CVC TV. You got the starting lineups. You heard the names. You know who they are. The stage is set, and we are set to tip off tonight with a clash of a 3-1 Jefferson Falcons and a 4-0 Madison Blue Streaks. Those records are set in the Sugar Valley Conference Lake Division standings. Jefferson sits at third behind Geneva, who's also at 3-1. Madison leads at the top at 4-0, and we are ready to go. Terry Brown, Landon Tomko set to jump it at midcourt.
You can see already, Cameron, the size of both of these teams, particularly Jefferson area. We're going to see how it all plays out as we get this one tipped off.
A lot of size out there. Got a couple of guys out there who are on the 6'2", 6'3". Terry Brown wins the tip, goes to Dom Magda, and we are underway. Max Steele's going to get it to Nolan Albert, senior to senior. Nolan swings it out. That's Landon Tomko isoing on the wing. Tomko going to lose it a little bit, gets it back to Magda. Magda gets to the free throw line, kicks it out. Tomko going to drive it himself, gets to the cup, scoops and scores. Landon Tomko scores our first points of the night.
And that's a good start for Madison. Again, we talked in the pre-show about them getting their offense going right off the gun, getting the first points on the board.
Here's the guy you're going to have to watch tonight. Anthony Cavetta, a 24-point, almost 12 rebound, double-double average for the 6'3" senior. Luis Padilla gets to the cup, a foul on the floor. Don't count the bucket, and it'll be baseline out of bounds for the Jefferson Falcons.
Well, I'll tell you what, number 2 Cavetta, man, my goodness, 1,000-point scorer, averaging 24 points, and already you could tell he makes his presence out there. No, you even seen it in the pregame.
Oh, yeah. I don't think he missed in pregame warm-ups. Padilla looking to get it in, and that's a 5-second call, and Madison forces the turnover. We talked about the defense in the little pregame show. There's that defense on a baseline out of bounds.
The defense is the main focus for this Blue Streaks team. Now it's just, again, getting the offense on track, and they're off to a good start.
Like they say, off them, it's got to compliment the defense. Max Steele burns to the cup. Right-handed scoop layup is good. Max Steele's on the board. And the Blue Streaks are off to a 2-for-2 start and up 4-0 with 6:56 to go in the first quarter. Dylan Shetler, little pull-up jumper is good, and he cuts the deficit down to 2.
I'll tell you what, a little bit of theater afterwards with the shot.
Magda wide open, little short rebound grab by Padilla. Padilla's going to get it across the timeline, across the Falcons logo. Swing it over. Cavetta, pull up three and transition. Little strong. Terry Brown fighting for it down there with Landon Tomko. Gets it out to the good cut by Padilla to Terry Brown. What a pass. Brown handles it, collects, and scores with the left hand.
That was a good find there by Padilla. Ready to get in there, get it over to Brown, and get the point. That was a tough play to make, and he was able to do it.
I think maybe a little luck on his side, but that's all right. It takes a little luck to be good sometimes. Brendan Tittman makes the catch, fires, splash. Brandon Tittman. Check that, Brendan Tittman splash. He's hit 5 threes in a game against West Geauga, 4 against Chardon. That's a sharpshooter who can get this Blue Streaks offense moving tonight.
And again, you're finding more weapons on the offensive side of the ball. A good steal there, Cameron.
Here comes Max Steele, gets it across the timeline, looking to get to the cup, stops, slows, shot's good, and one. Max Steele through the contact, finishes with the left hand, and he'll get a free throw to complete the 3-point play. A 9-4 lead early on for Madison, 5:46 to go in this first quarter.
That's a good start there, and just being able to just go in there, the physicality, finishing that. You already notice here the speed of this game really pick it up here with this divisional matchup.
Almost got the roll, little short. Terry Brown's going to get it to Padilla. A little press here for Madison. Wonder how much this can be a factor tonight. And a foul, be sidelined out of bounds for the Falcons. A quick start. I'm almost out of breath right now. They were going up and down that court, but a nice start for Madison. I think this is the exact start that they were looking for, getting that offense to complement that defense.
It's going to be important here for the Falcons. Yeah, that's the man right there. Kind of slow it down a little bit.
Yep, find him. Terry Brown in the post. Little Euro step, gets the bounce, and Terry Brown is on the board. Again, he's got 4 points here in the early going. Tomko gets it left side of his wing, coming this way. Pressure by Brown out near midcourt. Gets to his left hand, gets a screen from Tittman, gets to the cup, floats it. Air ball grabbed by Dylan Shetler. Gets it to Padilla. Padilla across the timeline, gets to the three-point line, stops, makes a couple moves, swings it out corner. Shetler wide open. Little short, but a foul on, I think, Max Steele.
I believe
that's correct.
A 3-shot foul there.
Yeah, and he'll get 3 free throws to potentially tie this game up for Dylan Shetler.
And that's just one of those things. Ironically here, just looking at, Jefferson kind of working their way back in, but the free throws, they call them 3 points for a reason.
And I think that's why Shaq might have struggled. It's the easiest shot physically, but the hardest shot mentally. It's much like golf. Putting looks so easy, but it's so hard. Well, shout out to all my friends watching who golf.
Well, unlike these kids, Shaq didn't try for the free throw.
Gotta love Shaq Diesel. Shetler goes 0 for 2 on his first a couple of substitutions for Madison. Josh Pekar is in, along with, I believe that is Parker Williams down on the block. And he converts the final. It'll be 9-7 early on for a Madison lead. Tomko's got it at the right wing. Terry Brown defending. He's going to swing it. No, he's not. Tomko, couple of moves, lost it. Good defense by Brown. Picked up by Luis Padilla. He's got a man in the middle, gets to the middle, scoop, layup, banks it in. We are tied at 9 with 4:40 to go in the first quarter.
That's a great move by Padilla. Now, I want to see here offensively, Tomko's going to need, look for those outlet passes a little bit here.
Parker Williams going to swing it over to Dom Magda. Back to Tomko. Tomko to Brendan Tittman. He's already hit a 3 tonight. Parker Williams swings it back to Tittman.
Yeah, this is a better possession right here.
I like this. A lot of passing ball movement. Tomko into the lane, missed it. Wanted a foul, didn't get it. Cavetta, nobody was looking. Dom Magda the steal. And he presses quickly to the cup. Takes it back out. Brendan Tittman gets it to reset. Terry Brown with the steal. Here he goes. Lost it. Gets to the paint, little pump fake inside. No, stolen by Parker Williams.
Give credit to Madison for getting right back on transition defense. That could have been an easy, fast break, and the Blue Streaks take those points away.
The bubble might have helped the defense catch up. Nonetheless, it's a turnover. And Josh Pekar swings it over to Landon Tomko. He's got a screen on Brown. Magda sets one himself. Tomko continues to deny. Tomko gets the switch maybe he wants, swings it over Pekar. Pekar baseline dribble drive. Little Euro step through, kicks it out Tomko, backs his way in. Great defense here by Jefferson. They're swarming. They're all over the place. Tomko gets it back up top, resets, calls for the screen, gets it. Still trying to get a shot, gets to the paint, puts it up, banks it in with Cavetta defending. A good tough finish over a taller defender, and Anthony Cavetta by Landon Tomko.
That's great effort there, especially because Cavetta, he has that range too. So being able to get past him, that's a big deal.
Terry Brown got it on his right wing. Reaching in is Josh Picard. Check that. Parker Williams, skip pass over to Dylan Shetler. He brings it up top. Almost turnover. Cavetta, wide open. Splash. Anthony Cavetta gets on the board, and there's that shooting we talked about in the pregame and saw in the pregame as well. Tomko, quick pass to Tippmann in the corner. Williams gets it back at the wing, and Don Magda kind of slows things down a little bit. Gets to his right, cut off. Nice by Luis Padilla. And Landon Tomko is going to pace us. A lot of fast moving early on, but starting to slow down the pace a little bit here on this possession for Madison.
And they kind of have to here. You know, again, this defense is really, really swarming. And you're going to notice here the first dead ball, you know, can these players kind of come to the ball?
Magda right to the cup, fouled by a Jefferson Falcon. Magda's going to get a pair of shots at the free throw line. We'll check and see who that foul is on. It's a 12-11 lead by Jefferson with 2:08 to go here in the first quarter.
But you even notice here kind of how Jefferson has done a great job kind of closing this thing a little bit, you know, after the big start, you know, by Madison.
A nice little 8-2 run to take a lead off that Anthony Cavetta three. Magda swishes his first free throw, and that's this game up at 12.
And what's interesting now, we kind of talked about this, you know, some of our games last year. When you come off of that holiday break, you know, you're looking for fresh legs. You're looking for, you know, you're going to see a bunch of substitutions here because of, you know, those legs are going to sit on you as that second free throw goes down.
And Luis Padilla is going to get it across the timeline. Gets to his left with a good move. Tough finish at the basket. Luis Padilla through contact himself. Wow, what a finish. Nolan Albert gets it to Magda. Magda gets to the middle. Albert with a little bit of space here. Gets to the paint, a little to the elbow. Good pass. Josh Picard, what a cut. Wide open basket. It's a 15-14 Madison Blue Streak lead.
And Picard, he was one of those players that was mentioned during the media days. It's like he's going to be one of those impact players, and he certainly has done so.
Dakota Oftenberg with the steal. Padilla lost it. Magda on the run. Picard, layup, it's good. It's a 17-14 lead by Madison. The pace is starting to pick up a little bit with some turnovers and great defense on both sides.
And the junior guard, number 10, Pika, he's really, really impressing with the speed.
And Dylan Shetler is going to little handoff to Padilla. Swings it over back to Shetler right around that Falcon logo. Back to Cavetta. Quick trigger three. Splash.
Wow.
Anthony Cavetta. Quick trigger. Was that Kyle Corver shooting a three-pointer? Oh, my goodness.
I'll tell you what. He didn't break a sweat
no,
making that three-pointer.
On a day so many years ago, Cavs traded for Kyle Corver. Had to make a mention. And now Albert going to get it right back to Magda. He slows it down a little bit. 17-17. 50 seconds to go. Magda inside scoop layup. I think it's blocked by Terry Brown. Who's it going to? Stays here for Madison. 43.6 seconds to go in a 17-17 ball game in this first quarter. What a nice start.
I think if Madison's going to keep driving to the basket right there, I like what Brown, I like what they keep those hands up.
Absolutely. Parker Williams almost tried it. Cavetta picked it off. He's got a one-on-one. Albert tries to cut him off. Nice spin move, left it short, off somebody's head. Terry Brown comes away with it, and that was a wild, wacky possession. For Madison, Joel Navarro has checked in. Just want to make note of that.
But, you know, we just saw it on the other end. You keep those hands up. If you're going to consistently drive inside, you know, you crash the paint inside and keep the hands up, you get the steal.
Cavetta, little triple threat, dribble drive on the baseline. Scoop layup reverse, shot's good, and one. Anthony Cavetta showing out in this first quarter. What a tough finish.
I know you guys saw it there watching, flexing out there. he has the right to do so.
I saw him a bunch last season, a lot of big games. You know, kind of plays like a guard, but he's a 6'3" forward, 11.5 rebounds, 24 points. A special talent in the CVC, gets the friendly roll. It's a 20-17 lead for the Jefferson Falcons.
and you see his impact there. The moment he made that play, his teammates were excited, locked in here. We got 20 seconds to go in this quarter.
He is the impact guy. Oh, Albert almost little pull-up jumper, dribble drive by Parker Williams. Little floater, shot won't go. Rebound, Dakota Oftenberg. Almost got the and one, and Dakota Oftenberg will shoot a pair of free throws at the charity stripe.
And Oftenberg, number 11, who's at the line right now, he's one of those players, you know, he's really, really going to be, again, another impact player. Max Steele talked about at the media day that he is a defensive weapon out there. And he does a really good job,
yes,
Cameron, really getting out there and making that effort.
And he, you know, you see him taking the task of Ed Cavetta. That's no easy task for anybody, but he's stepping up, splits a pair at the free throw line. Landon Tomko will enter. Oftenberg to the bench, and there are 8.7 seconds left. Maybe a last shot opportunity here for Jefferson, or maybe Madison can get a steal and maybe turn this thing around.
It's going to be against the press.
A quick lead pass, Padilla, right inside floater. Terry Brown got it, and that is going to wrap up a quick first quarter, 22-18. Jefferson on top after 8 minutes of play. What a fun first quarter.
That was a great job there by the Falcons. What was it, only 8 seconds having that possession, beating the press. Brown able to get the score in the back end. Great job.
Great pass from Shetler to Padilla to Brown. Those three guys get a lot of credit from setting that up. And now that we have some time, I want to thank the presenting sponsor of CVC TV. It's the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Doctors Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Their specialties include dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website at ohsurgery.com. Thank you for your support of the Sugar Valley Conference and CVC TV. Again, that is www.ohsurgery.com. And, well, here we go. We get the sponsor in and ready to go for the second quarter. Starting lineups are out there for both sides. It seems as though Joel Navarro is in for Jefferson with, I believe it would be Preston Hitchcock on the bench to start this second quarter for Jefferson, who has possession at midcourt.
We're going to see here from Madison once they get back on offense. Again, continuing their evaluation process offensively, spreading the ball out. They did a pretty good job in the first quarter. See if they can continue that against this Falcons offense that's putting in work right now.
Great screen by Pavetta. Luis Padilla, step back jumper. Gets the roll. No, he doesn't. Navarro almost grabbed it, and it'll go to Nolan Albert. Albert pushing a little bit, gets it across the timeline as we are underway in the second quarter. It's a 22-18 lead. Great pass to Steele. Back out top, Albert. Magda with some space. He fires, connects. Dom Magda with a look at the Jefferson bench for three.
And that was a better job of spreading the ball out, getting the different points on the floor. See if the Falcons can kind of repeat and do the same thing here.
Cavetta pull-up elbow jumper, little short rebound to Tittman. We'll get it to Steele. The fans are calling for them to push it. They'll elect to go slow with it up the court. Albert gets to his right. There's 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Tomko missed it. Navarro, check that. Padilla the rebound. Steal by Tomko. Lost it again, and it's off Tomko, and it'll go back to the Falcons.
That was a great effort there by Tomko. I know he didn't end up getting it, and great job by the Falcons staying right in there, but those are little hustle plays that the coaching staff they're looking for every time on tape.
Grady Lenzian is in for Jefferson, just as a lineup change to note of. That is Padilla, tosses it inside. Terry Brown on the post up. Got Nolan Albert draped all over him, gets by him, lefty floater, won't go. Rebound grabbing by Lenzian. Guys crashing to the court. He kicks it right to Cavetta. Got a screen on his right, denies, goes to his left. Tomko cuts him off, denies a little bit to Brown.
They want
And
Brown to take that shot
yeah.
out there.
Cavetta will take it. Splash! Anthony Cavetta from the in Falcons on that side of the court. Holy smokes.
Great recovery by the Falcons offensively. I'm like, okay, I know Brown probably is capable of making a shot out there, but get the ball to somebody who you want to take the shot from out there.
I think they let him take every shot. Magda with a little bit of space hit a three-pointer already. Elects to give it to Tomko, who's got just about as much space, but will also maybe pass up a good shot for a better shot, depending on what's to come next. Tomko dribble drive, lost it. Great defense by Terry Brown. He is everywhere in this first half. And we're going to wait while the ref ties his shoe right by midcourt.
That is very important. You do not want an official to have an untied shoe.
You don't want anybody to have an untied shoe,
you know,
but definitely not an official.
No. He's rumbling and stumbling to the ground.
My goodness, Double A.
Was you having officials timeout if never mind. Never mind.
All right. Navarro across midcourt, little handoff. Cavetta swings it over. Brown. They keep passing. Everybody touching it. Cavetta on the backdoor cut. And Padilla is pumped up. It's a 27-21 Jefferson lead with 5:39 to go here in the first half.
That was a great assist. Great find inside, and that Falcons team is fired up.
The bench is loving it. Coach is loving it. Albert takes a bump, gets to the cup, and scores through a contact. Nolan Albert. And a timeout by Coach Gusson at Madison. What an electric start to the second quarter, and just an overall this first half.
I like the effort we're seeing here on both sides. By the way, that official is completely tying his shoe, so that's an update there. He had to sprint to the sideline to get out of the way. Now he makes sure that shoe's tied in. I know that's not important, but we want to make sure everybody's safe.
Yes, safety is always important. They say safety first.
You mentioned at the top, though, about how important this game is for the division, for the Lake Division.
Correct.
Madison, defending Lake Division champions, they've only won this conference 3 times since 1984. So, they want this. And obviously Jefferson, and you see Coach fired up there, they both want this. They know how important this matchup is.
Well, we'll make note Madison is the defending co-champ because them and Perry, almost a push-off, both went 10-4 in the conference last season. Navarro to the cup, right-handed scoop, shots good, and one. Joel Navarro with the righty scoop. Nice finish at the basket, and he'll get a free throw to convert the and one.
I know Steele's a little frustrated there because he thought that he has solid position, for that, but you gotta stay with it.
Maybe a tough call, maybe an offensive foul before the possession even got going, but sometimes you got to play through it. Navarro misses, fought for it. Tomko comes away with it, close to that out-of-bounds line, but Albert, they're looking to push. Josh Picar has it, left wing, gets it right back to Albert. Albert's going to trigger, get it to the paint roughly. Magda's isoing a little bit. Cutting is Josh Picar. Denies almost a good back cut. Brendan Tittman catch and shoot. Little strong and long. Navarro.
A little bit rushed too, Cameron.
Yeah. On the move, that can be difficult. Cavetta fouled, pull-up jumper won't go. Fouls on the floor. Basket would not have counted anyways.
In this defense, Jefferson defense, they're swarming, and they have been all game, but they're really ratcheted up. It's going to be important for this Madison offense to, stay locked in and focused, offensively and find comfortable spots on the floor.
Well, they've been finding a lot of really good shots. Cavetta shakes his man, gets to the basket, goes glass, and scores. Anthony Cavetta scoring again. What else is new at Double A?
And Madison's not had to defend somebody like Cavetta all season long.
No, he is a special talent. Magda, a little step back jumper, denied. Terry Brown with the block. Cavetta comes away with it. 3-on-1 break. Cavetta takes it himself, and he traveled. Maybe trying to think what he was going to do with it in transition, but it will stay. It'll go back to the Blue Streaks with 4:21 left in the second quarter with a 41-23 Jefferson lead.
Those extra steps. And he felt a little pressure from the backside as well, as you mentioned.
Yeah, Madison was closing. Even with the break, Parker Williams left it a little short. Cavetta, good defense, grabs the rebound. Gets it to Padilla. Padilla across the timeline, little jump pass to Terry Brown. Brown takes it out, slows up a little bit. Gonna dribble drive, stop. Little step through move. What a move! Terry Brown calls him small. Nolan out. What a move by Terry Brown on the step through on Nolan Albert.
And he knows it too. He knows he's just made a great play. And again, now, offensively Madison's trying to figure things out, but defensively they're going to have to work as well.
Picard to the paint. Little up and under block, but they call a foul. A great job defensively by Grady Lenzian. They call a foul, and it'll be 2 free throws for Josh Picard at the stripe, with Jefferson opening up a 10-point lead all of a sudden.
But with Picard, what he was able to do, that pivot kind of made a defender kind of move around just enough to create the foul, and a great job on his end. Yeah,
a great defense. I want to give credit to Grady Lenzian. Really good defense. Sometimes just a little too much contact, and you get a couple of free throws. But nonetheless,
well, it's bound to happen when offensively you work hard. You're going to create, even if you have great defense, you're going to create those opportunities.
Especially if you work hard defensively. It can be easy sometimes to maybe get a little too aggressive. He sinks both. It's an 8-point game with just a little under 3.5 to go. Cavetta past the timeline, gets it to Navarro. Handoff Padilla. Got a little double team. I'm going to skip pass. Cavetta, he missed it. Rebound, Terry Brown, what a job. Pump fake, spin, missed. Cavetta, check that, Nolan Albert comes down with the board. What an opportunity there for Jefferson.
Yeah, they could have really opened this up if they had 2 opportunities.
Little 2 for 1, neither fell, and Nolan Albert has it, swings it to Picard. Little pump fake back to Albert, hesitates.
Madison has to keep moving offensively.
They're doing a good job. Landon Tomko, spin move, denied by Anthony Cavetta. He is everywhere tonight. Ooh.
And we talked about it, like this Falcons team, their advantage is the size. This is going to be very, very tough to really, really get things going in the paint. And I wonder one of the halftime adjustments is having someone ready to go as an outlet pass when you drive in the paint to create an outside shot.
Brendan Tittman, he's ready. He's wide open. Missed it. Rebound tipped and grabbed by Brown. Padilla slows down, slows the breakdown. Skip pass, Lenzian lefty stroke. Missed it. Rebound goes to Tittman.
The opportunity here with 2.5 minutes to go till half to really close this thing in.
Albert, little stutter step, gets bumped, and a blocking foul on Joel Navarro. I believe that'll be, yes, on the court, and no free throws coming for Nolan Albert. Baseline out of bounds for the Blue Streaks.
This is one of the hardest plays to complete for any basketball team at any level. It's out of bounds, inbound pass.
Especially with the defense already set. Looking at Brendan Tittman on the cut. Tomko makes the catch.
Brown's all
over him. Step back, swings it to Nolan Albert. Albert going to slow it up. Offenberg with the screen. A little shake and bake right there by Nolan Albert. Offenberg missed it. Lindsay in the rebound.
They just don't seem comfortable, in their shot selection.
They seem a little rushed. Great pass, Navarro to Terry Brown.
You see, that's the difference, right? So Brown, even with pressure, they're comfortable, good enough space to put the ball up. It's just you don't get the same level of comfort on Madison in the paint.
And you see Terry Brown here guarding Landon Tomko. He's ready for that matchup of one of the Madison's best offensive weapons. He is locked in defensively. Offensive foul, and it'll go back to Jefferson. Up 35-25 with 1:42 to go here in the second quarter. Things may be starting to get a little testy here for Madison. Can they respond with a little under 2 minutes left to go in the half?
And this is the Falcons' opportunity. They know it here. You could really blow this thing open here in these last 90 seconds.
Cavetta's going to try. Splash! Anthony Cavetta from way downtown. Oh, my goodness. Cavetta, Brown, they're everywhere tonight. And Tomko's going to swing it over Tittman. Dribble drive off somebody. Was looking for Dakota Offenberg under the basket, but it will stay with Madison on the sideline.
And you're talking about, again, the standings, which we'll get to a little bit after the half. But Jefferson, if they're able to win this game, they'll tie Madison. They'll both have a 4-1 league record if they can pull off the W.
Yes, that's... And if, assuming Geneva wins tonight at home against Lakeside, there will be a 3-way tie at 4-1 atop the Lake Division. So last year I dealt with it, a lot of storylines of somebody wins, somebody loses, things get interesting. we have it very early on here in the Lake Division.
And again, long way to go. Still got a lot of games to go, but
absolutely.
It's a good measuring stick here in early January.
Offenburg had a little bit of space. Passes up the three-pointer. Tomko, little stutter step, gets it to Albert. Albert shovels. Offenburg missed it. Tipped and rebounded by Cavetta.
And he knows it, too. He knows, like, oh, man, that shot should have went in. And, you know, good shot selections, like you mentioned, Cameron, just not able to get comfortable and put them in.
I think just that the size advantage that Jefferson has might be throwing off, you know, some of the shots, maybe rushing them, not wanting to get blocked at the rim. Brown gets to the elbow, kicks it to Cavetta, and he's going to bring it up top to the volleyball line. Slow it up over to Padilla. We have 26 seconds left on the clock. Padilla swings it over back to Brown. Out past the volleyball line by that Falcons logo. I think they're holding for the last shot. Brown right down the lane. Lefty scoop, missed it. Rebound, Padilla, back, Navarro, Cavetta, splash! Anthony Cavetta is about that mess tonight. Albert, Brendan Tittman from deep. Left it short on the rim. It's a 41-25 halftime lead for the Jefferson Falcons. Putting on a show, Anthony Cavetta.
Man, they got the look top of the key. They took up a ton of time there in those last 30 seconds. And Jefferson, we talk about those last 2 minutes could be a difference maker, and, you know, a 16-point lead going into halftime. This Falcons offense really, really responding against this Madison Blue Streaks team that, hey, they're going to have to find a way to overcome adversity. They had a tough game against Perry, which you covered the other night. And now here today, this is one of those games. You want to win this Lake Division, make those halftime adjustments, come back, start off strong in the second half.
And the offense has been better tonight than it was at Perry. You got 25 points. They only scored 31 in that game. They're getting better looks. They're taking better shots. They're moving the ball. They're making the right plays. Some of the shots just not falling. Let's see if the adjustments can make up for that in the second half. And we're going to send you to the CVC halftime show. It's halftime, so that means it's time for Cameron's Corner, a look back at some of the action in the CVC this week. Cameron's Corner is presented by Michael DeLazo & Co., CPAs and Business Advisors. You can contact them at cpaneeds.com. First up, we're going to talk with Crestwood sophomore guard Brody Durham, who broke the school record in a single game for assists with 17 assists, breaking the previous record of 15. Let's take a listen on what he had to say.
It means a lot to me, considering that I'm doing it with some of my best friends on the team. And one of the main things that I was happy about was that Mason Jakacki, the previous record holder, was there. And me and him are pretty close. And it was nice to do that in front of him. And he supported me after, and he was really happy for me. So that was awesome. It was really cool because I think I had 9 or 10 at halftime. We came out, and they told me that. And I was talking to him a little bit on the sideline. He was telling me to go get it. And he was encouraging me the whole game. And after every assist, I was smiling, and I would look at him, and it was just a really cool moment. And he was really happy for me after the game, came up to me, hugged me, we took a picture, and it was awesome.
Following the interview with Brody, we had a great doubleheader of action in Madison as the Blue Streaks hosted Perry in a boys-girls doubleheader on Saturday. The Pirates pulled off the sweep, but it didn't come easy. The Perry girls game ended in a 49-47 Pirates win in overtime off a nice comeback by the Madison Blue Streaks. Jade Newsom hit some big shots in that first half. Got him out to a nice 7-point lead at the break. Madison battled back, outscoring Perry 28-21 in the second half, but a nice overtime period by the Pirates squared away a victory in what is now a cross-conference rivalry matchup between the Blue Streaks and the Pirates. Following that Perry girls game, we talked with star Jaden Newsom of the game with her 14-point performance in the win, and here's what she had to say.
Jaden, 14 points from you, a big three-pointer in that fourth quarter to keep you guys in front. Madison tied it late. What was kind of the mindset and the message from Coach going into overtime? You guys led almost wire to wire, basically. What was kind of the message and the mindset going into overtime to kind of get away today with a win?
I think it was just playing together and playing good defense and not letting them score, not letting them go to the hoop, and just staying open threes and layups and just working together as a team.
You guys did a really good job defensively. Obviously, Gianna Lamarco and Zoe Delajanis are kind of the two girls that you circle on the roster like, hey, stop them, you're going to have some success. You did a pretty good job limiting them in the first half. They got going in that second half. Do you think that it's just kind of good players making shots, or do you think that maybe the defense kind of started to waver a little bit in that second half to kind of turn the tide in Madison's favor, let them get back into the game a little bit?
I think we got a little tired, but we came back and put our all on the court and finished, and we did a pretty good finish there.
What was kind of that turnaround like, fourth quarter? All of a sudden, you blink and you look and it's a tie game. Of being able to kind of get that out of your mind and turn around and go play a really good overtime quarter, obviously only 4 minutes, but a really good 4 minutes of basketball. Being able to, win it and get some stops and really make Madison take a lot of time off the clock in that final overtime.
Yeah, I think we pushed through in overtime and we just worked together and saw what was open and handled the pressure really well.
You guys break even, go to 6-5 on the year. Not a conference win this time, being in the Sugar Division, but how can you guys kind of use this as maybe, I've been kind of talking to coaches about it, as far as a signature win. You officially have hit the halfway point playing your 11th game of your 22 regular season games. Can this kind of be a signature win when you look back in March, when tournament play starts to ramp up of like, this was the moment that the season kind of turned around and we went on a run? Do you think that this could be that moment for you guys?
Yeah, I do. I think that we really need to take off from here and that this game put us in that position.
And finally, the Perry boys basketball team completed the sweep in the nightcap of what was really a quadruple header with boys and girls JV with a 45-31 win over Madison with a really big 15-3 run to close the second quarter, take a big lead into halftime up 27-15. To check that 25-13 and kind of rode that momentum to a 14-point win to keep them above 500 and just to keep the good things going for that Pirates team. One guy in double figures, 15 points from Vince Tomasic, also had 11 rebounds to go with a nice double-double. And what was an ugly win for the Pirates, but nonetheless a victory. And following the boys' game in the nightcap, we talked with the man of the double-double, Vince Tomasic, after the win. Here's what he had to say following the victory.
Obviously, like you said, it wasn't a great night for either teams. We talked about it in the locker room. It was ugly, but we got to find a way to win. If we're not making shots, it doesn't matter. We just got to get back, keep doing what we're doing, and find a way.
How important is it to find a way to win? Because you're not always going to play your best brand of basketball. And sometimes you're going to have off nights, and maybe you're going to have an off night, and Darian's going to have an off night, and other guys are going to have to step up. How encouraging is it for a team to be able, for this team specifically, to be able to find that, especially so early on in the year? You just played your 7th, eighth game of the year. How important is it just to have one of those kinds of games?
It's probably the most important thing, because everybody's going to have an off night. Not everybody's perfect. And when, one of our best players does have an off night, we have to, get somebody who's hot, find something else to do and, find a way, like I said. And I feel like that's, the most important thing we can do.
Moving forward, calendar turns to 2025. Get your first win of the year out of the way. How is this kind of maybe being a springboard? I've been asking coaches about it. We're reaching the halfway point. The girls are over the halfway point now of the schedule. When are you going to look back and think, maybe this was the win that turned things around, and not that things need turned around, but like this was like a signature win. Do you think that this could be that kind of win for you guys, especially over the rival Madison?
Yeah, for sure. I think every win we get, just keeps, especially when you keep getting wins in a row, it just keeps, you keep getting more and more confident, and more and more we get more prepared every week.
Well, folks, thanks for tuning in to the Cameron's Corner halftime show of CVC TV broadcast. That'll do it. Thank you to Michael DeLazel & Co., CPA and business advisors, for all their support and their contributions to the CVC TV halftime show. You can contact them at cpaneeds.com. Now let's get back to the CVC TV crew for the second half.
This episode of CVC Spotlight was presented by Michael Dolezal and Company, CPAs and business advisors. Call 216-485-2028 or visit cpaneeds.com to learn more about what Dolezal and Company can do for you.
Welcome back to the friendly confines of Jefferson High School. It's a 16-point lead for the home Falcons in a really important Lake Division showdown against the Madison Blue Streaks. We're nearing tip-off, or I guess the start of the second half, since you don't jump the ball at the second half. But we're nearing the start of the second half. Any first half thoughts, Double A?
Well, everything is starting and stopping with Anthony Cavetta with 22 first half points and a huge explosion those last couple minutes of the second quarter. So let's see how quickly Madison can come out. Defensively, Jefferson has to be locked in these first couple minutes here in this third quarter.
This could be a big difference maker in the ultimate outcome as Tomko holds it and is ISOing, kind of sizing up Brown. Tittman's looking around, gets it to Steele. Steele, little triple threat, step back, gets to the cup, pass out Magda in the corner. Gets it right back. No, sends it out to Nolan Albert.
Speaking of Steele, I want to see a little bit more of him.
Absolutely. Landon Tomko high, arc and jumper, tipped by Brown, grabbed by Luis Padilla. Swings it out. Cavetta almost thought about shooting it with that quick trigger, and he'll get it back to Padilla. Skip pass. Dylan Shetler banks it. Won't go. Rebound. Terry Brown is in there. Fires it up. Missed it. A little long. Fighting for it's Landon Tomko, and he tracks it down.
One of the adjustments you kind of see already on Madison's side, every time Cavetta has the ball, it's two guys on him.
Spin move there by Max Steele. Ultimately fouled, and he will get, I believe, a pair of free throws at the charity stripe. Call a block, and it'll be sidelines out of bound. Baseline out of bound. Excuse me.
I thought that would have been a shooting foul.
Thought so too, but.
And for someone like Steele, who again he is a huge part of this Madison offense, the official stopped the clock here for a little bit. You know, he's somebody that's going to really, really have to get going, averaging almost 20 points a game here. Got to see a little bit more of that.
He's put up 24 different times. It's high at 29. Something a little fancy there. Spins, kicks it out. Albert swings it over Tomko. Little pump fake, got Brown in the air, gets to the basket. Shot's good, and one. Landon Tomko is pumped up on the and one.
Yeah, one of the senior leaders on this team, and talking about this senior class for this Blue Streaks team, really, try to establish that adversity, getting over adversity like they are facing right now. Great response.
Great response. Cut it to 13 here early on in the third quarter. 6:42 to go. He makes the free throw. It's 41-28 Jefferson. Across the timeline, swing past Shetler. Gets guarded hard by Tomko. Terry Brown found the paint. Hitchcock gets a little bit of a zone-type look from Madison. Timeout Jefferson. I think the Blue Streaks are throwing a wrench into the mix, coming out with what looks like some sort of a 3-2 zone in a way, kind of mixing things up a little bit.
As we talked about, Cameron, was 6:26 to go, third quarter? The first 2 minutes, we always say the last 2 minutes of the second quarter, first 2 minutes of the third quarter could make or break a game for the team that's down, and Madison has an opportunity.
And while we have a quick second, we'd like to thank our presenting sponsor of CVC TV. It's the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Doctors Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Their specialties include dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website at www.ohsurgery.com. Thank you for your support of the Sugar Valley Conference and CVC TV, www.ohsurgery.com. As George Zura checks in and gets it to Padilla with Brendan Tittman on him. I think they get out of the zone a little bit. Quick pass, lefty shot won't go. Rebound tracked down by.
Great effort.
Missed the shot. Way to follow the shot.
That
Things
is
I like
excellent
to see.
effort.
Ultimately not coming away with the possession, but that extra effort could be the difference in any game, maybe even tonight, maybe down the line.
And let's see if Madison can kind of match that effort there. But you see the winning team with that kind of effort. That's good stuff.
Albert, little pull-up jumper, step through, won't go. Cavetta maybe nearing another double-double tonight. As Padilla across the timeline gets it, swings it. Shetler for three. Won't go. Good rebound by Landon Tomko to climb the ladder and pull it down.
And he established the space, too.
Yes.
You notice with his feet, like, this is my rebound. I'm going to get it.
things like that can be really important. Max Steele tiptoed the line, went over, turnover, back to Jefferson. It goes.
Yeah, it's just not his night to this point. Still a lot of time left in the game to really, you just got to get that one shot to fall, and you get right back into it.
Once you see one go, the light can flicker. 5:33 to go here in the third quarter. Padilla's got a man under the basket. Zura skip pass, almost stolen. And Cavetta got it, but stepped on the out of bounds line, and it'll go back to Madison.
And still got a tip in there, too. So those little plays like that, hey, offensively, sometimes it just will not be your night. But if you could come through defensively, maybe that builds some confidence into one of your best players.
And that could be maybe a big changing of momentum for Madison if things can get going.
Wow.
Zura steal is all over it. Albert runs him down. Spin, lefty scoop is good. George Zura, the steal, the spin, the scoop, the score.
Zora just stood right there, made the steal.
Max Steele through contact finishes, and there's that first shot.
Again, building that confidence, a great response, for Madison. But Falcons just got to keep on moving. Got that 13-point lead.
Pressure, a bit of a high 2-3 zone, playing it above the three-point line a bit. Another change here for Madison, kind of trapping on the wing as well. Tomko got in there, called for the foul on the reach. It'll be sideline out of bounds for Jefferson.
It's tough when you're talking about those pressure cooker moments. Want to make the big play. I like the screen, but again, a little bit too much.
The pace is kind of picking up a little bit, especially on the defensive end. Zura, the trickle man, gets it into Padilla. It gets it into Cavetta on the post-up. Gets triple team. Padilla, backdoor, wide open. Great pass from Cavetta.
Well, when you have a triple team on one player, that means
two guys are open.
I believe two guys are open.
If I do my math correctly. Albert thought about the three-pointer. Gets to the baseline. And out of bounds again. No, foul. Check that. He pointed at the line, got me confused for a second.
No, I thought he stepped on myself.
Yeah,
But that was a fair call.
Yes. A lot of fouls early on. We got 4 so far, 4:18 to go here in the third quarter. Skip pass, Zura's all over it again, tips it back up. Tittman comes away with it. Max Steele had a good look, gets to the cup, righty scoop, won't go.
You're right. I wish Steele would have put it up right there. He did. He thought about it.
Sometimes passing up a good shot for a great shot isn't the move, but Cavetta double teamed again, skips it to Zura, splash! George Zura making the impact.
That's a huge shot, too, because, again, they're locking in on doubling Cavetta.
And Steele gets to the basket, left it a little flat, comes away with it, swings it out. Josh Picard wide open, too strong, rebound by Shetler. And some bluff pressure.
Again, Jefferson, keep moving, keep going.
Padilla goes right by the entire defense, finds Terry Brown, offensive foul. Great charge taken there by Nolan Albert.
Yeah, good move on his end, but I like what the Falcons are doing. Coach may pull them back just a tad, but you keep on the attack. This is your opportunity here really to show out against a rival in front of your home fans.
Absolutely.
And with 3:30 to go here in this third quarter, they are definitely doing so here in this game.
Madison kind of slow to get back on defense. Padilla took advantage. Just a little, maybe too aggressive, getting called for the offensive foul. Picard with some space, thought about it, didn't take it, back to Offenberg. Offenberg swings it. Tomko, dribble drive, gets cut off by Brown. Tries to get it inside to Offenberg. Shetler got his hands all over it, didn't come away with it. Tomko, little hop step, kick out, and a travel. And Steele buries the three, albeit for naught.
One of the things we talked about before we came on the air, last year Madison had J.P. Dragas, on this team. And, the offense ran through him. And with him graduating, trying to find an opportunity to establish those other guys. It's tough.
Zura, maybe a heat check. Splash! You betcha! George Zura is hot in the third quarter.
He's the player of the second half to this point.
It's a 21-point lead. Steele gets the basket, won't count, and I believe free throws coming for the senior guard, and they are.
When you think about what he's been able to do, defensively, the critical steal right in front of us here at half court, the several key shots he has made on the offensive side, near steals. I mean, he has been off the charts here in the second half.
And he didn't play up until the start of this third quarter. He started, and he's got a couple of steals. He's got a couple of three-pointers just everywhere as Max Steele hits the first and has his second to come. Still gets them both. Maybe good to see a couple of shots go through. It's a 51-32 Jefferson lead with 2:41 to go here in the third quarter. Medea swings, Cavetta. A foul. Cavetta, fancy layup, won't count. And a foul on the floor by Josh Pekar.
But I like what Cavetta did there, too. Like, okay, they're going to be aggressive defensively.
Make them guard you.
Make them guard you, like you just said. Beat them off dribble and force them to foul.
Padilla gets a little bit of space into Brown. Lefty floater, left it short. Padilla, great hustle.
Great hustle.
To save it. Foot on the line. It'll go back to Madison.
And I know Brown's disappointed he didn't make that shot. That was a tough shot. It was a great effort, great selection. It's just a tough shot to make there in the paint, but it almost went down with the left hand.
As a southpaw myself, it would have been nice to see a lefty jump hook go down. Steele backs his way into the paint. Lefty scoop won't go. Navarro comes away with it, and a technical foul is issued on Mac Steele. Frustration building with the lead, growing to 19, unfortunately, for the Blue Streaks.
It's just, again, one. It happens, you know. It's just one of those. It's a regular season game. You take it. It's a learning experience.
It matters.
And you grow, you know. But obviously, you know, a tough night, you know, for the senior leader.
Absolutely. He's tried to make a lot. He's made a lot of plays tonight offensively, trying to get going defensively as Cavetta, surprisingly, missed a shot tonight at the free throw line.
Tell you what, for this young man, number 2, Anthony Cavetta, first of all, his first name is impressive. Number 2.
Okay, here he goes.
Number 2, I don't mean to brag. You know, we have 22 points first half.
23 now. Here you
23 now, and you got that first name. You got a lot. There's a lot of pressure, you know, here on CVC TV.
Well,
he's doing a great job. He is impressive.
The pressure is absolutely not bugging him tonight. Gets by, floats it a little high. Rebound, Navarro left it short on the putback attempt, but he will go to the line for 2 more. And kind of not a great sequence here by Madison defensively. The technical, and now you're sending them back to the line. Points that go on the board without the clock moving kind of might make things a little bit hard here down the stretch.
Well, they're just trying to find something, anything, you know, that could work. The first free throw goes down, and there's just no answers. When you have a Jefferson team that is just continually attacking you in the paint with their size and just abusing in the paint, and then you're not having shots on your end fall, there's not really much you can do.
And sometimes nights go like that, especially in the CVC. Coach Gustin mentioned it's hard to play on the road in this conference as Madison pushes the pace. Pekar wanted it, got it, and that'll be 3 free throws for the Madison junior guard, Josh Pekar, at the stripe. So here, you get the swing back, maybe you get 3 points. If the clock not moving, cut it back down to 19 points from this 22-point deficit.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere, getting if you're Madison. You're exactly right. You know, before the Perry games, you mentioned 5-game winning streak that started with a win over Geneva, who they have on the 10th in a few days.
Absolutely.
In a rematch.
And that's a rivalry. That's one of the big ones. He misses the second, and 1 more coming. Talking about 5-game winning streak, holding opponents to 42 points, you're scoring 62, and you hold the Chardon team, who averages 71 points outside of that game, to 51, and an impressive stretch. And Albert gets the offensive rebound. And George Sura, what else is new?
Oh,
he's everywhere.
Goodness.
Falling, stumbling, bumbling, makes the pass. Great lead pass, Shetler. Skips it. Albert got his hands on it. Pump fake to Terry Brown in the corner.
Great job by Zora not leaving his feet.
Absolutely. Navarro had it blocked, gets it back. Rebound goes to Oftenberg on the layup miss. Magda transition, pull up 3. Too strong. Cavetta, another rebound. And Magda trying to put the pressure on here in the full court press.
And I like the strategy. Cavetta wanted to slow it down.
Now
And Magda said no.
Speed him up a little bit. Cavetta gets wide open, step through, basket's good. Anthony Cavetta.
That's a basketball play made at the highest level. Using his feet, using the pivot feet, finding open options. This is third option that finally went down.
Nolan Albert pull-up jumper won't go. Zura grabs the rebound just everywhere. 55 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Navarro pressured by Picar. Cavetta's got it. Jab stop, pulls. It's Anthony Cavetta's night tonight in Jefferson. Splashdown for the senior.
Man, he knows the cameras are on. He is locked in, man.
I may or may not have sent him a text to this when I found out I was going to be on CVC TV and said, hey, I'll see you on Tuesday. He might have known. I'm not going to say, but he might have known.
So let him know.
Had to hashtag let him know.
Let him
Shout
know.
out the Cavs.
They got a big one tomorrow.
Absolutely. Magda to the paint, little floater, and two free throws coming for the senior guard as well. Man, what a night for Anthony Cavetta. I know I told you coming in, that's the guy to watch. And college coaches, tune in. He is maybe one of the best players across the Chagrin Valley Conference to watch.
The one thing that was interesting, and prepping for these games, sometimes, with smaller schools, you don't get the necessary, press against ChagrinValleyConference.com. We do a great job. You do a great job.
Thank you. Don't flatter me.
On the website. That'll be your only compliment tonight.
Thanks. That's all right. That's all right.
But, to get something on tape tonight, I mean, really, it
matters.
It feels good. It
matters,
really does.
Yeah. Magda splits a pair. Dakota Offenberg with the steal, strips George Zurn. Maybe his only negative play so far tonight in this third quarter. Seems he's been doing everything. Tomko behind the back, step back, high archer, splash, shot's good, and one. Landon Tomko showing out.
That was a great play by Tomko. That was an excellent play, maintaining poise there and putting the ball in.
For him, a night I think he needed, really struggled shooting the ball against Perry. He's one of the guys, two times putting up 18 points, one time 17, and some wins this year. A night he might have needed to make some shots and see some shots go down. Misses the free throw, almost got it back. Offenberg comes away with it. Tittman might be the man you want to take the shot. 5 seconds. Magda with the screen. Pull up. Jumper. Short. Cavetta, great contest. That'll end the third quarter. 59-36. It is all Jefferson Falcons tonight.
What an impressive showing. I want, real quick, one of the things that we talked about during football season, Kyle and I, sometimes you like to say, pretend like the cameras are not here. You can't. I mean,
No.
you can't. When you're on CVC TV and, you want to show out, sometimes things greatly go your way and sometimes they don't. And no matter what the result, you'd want to learn from it no matter what. It's just a regular season game, but for Jefferson here, really, really, really impressive.
Absolutely. And sometimes, for the Madison aspect, things aren't going well tonight. How do you respond? I feel like that's something coaches preach a lot, is the response. You can't control the outcome, but you can control your response, which, we'll see how things go for them. Like you mentioned, they got Geneva coming up. To them, that's the game that's circled every year, both times. That's the rival. And so is the Perry game as well.
And for the Falcons, game's not over.
No.
The score is what it is, but
anything can happen.
Anything can happen, and even on your end, coaches talk all the time throughout, no matter the sport. The first objective, you're facing yourself.
Yes.
So
don't let complacency step in.
The third quarter effort that they just put out, got to match here in the fourth.
Absolutely. And so that's something Coach Pisano and I talked about last year of just kind of replicate your first half to your second half. If your first half is good, got to replicate it. Something we talked about a couple times last year. They did it against Madison last year at home, January 30th, and we'll see if they can do it tonight. As Anthony Cavetta got to the cup, got fouled, and will shoot a pair of free throws. And the one thing he's not done well tonight is shoot from the charity stripe.
A little frustrated there, but again, talking about a young man, 1,000-point scorer, which I don't care what level we're talking about. That is an amazing accomplishment.
Absolutely. And Tomko's going to get it the other way. Maybe he can start making some big shots. George Zura, a steal on the break, one-on-one. Scoop layup, missed it. Navarro climbs the ladder. He almost dunked that on the putback. Holy smokes.
That was a great follow-up there by Navarro. Ooh. Excellent job. Again, the steal. Zura's been all over the floor.
Albert skip pass to Magda. He's going to slow it up. Kicks it back. Albert hesitates on the three. Gets into the paint, looking for somebody. Bad pass, stolen spin move. Cavetta on the break. Gets to his spot, gets to the block, and is fouled. Wishing he got the and one, but nonetheless, 2 more free throws coming for Anthony Cavetta.
And again, you're seeing a team that, right now, they're not, looking at the scoreboard and saying, all right, we could relax here. The effort, maximizing the effort.
Absolutely, to them, this is a tie game for all they care about on it. The way it seems right now.
Yeah, you're right. Well-coached teams, they preach winning every quarter. They don't just preach, hey, we're up by this many points, and then forget about it. No, you preach win the quarter, win the possession.
And for that mentality, you guys have Fairview on Friday. Their coach Ryan Barry saw him earlier in the year. He said, win every quarter by 5 points, you're going to win a game by 20. And that's what they did against Beechwood earlier in the year when I was there. Impressive showing. Offenberg, quick touch pass to Steele. Missed it. Offenberg got it back, and he's fouled. And we'll go to the charity stripe for 2 more.
We cannot wait. Kyle and I will have their girls' game coming up on Friday night. So that's going to be –
should be a good one.
That's going to be fun. That's going to be on the opposite end.
Yeah. Yeah, check that. I didn't know it was a girls' game.
So opposite in terms of location. We're in the Ashtabula County.
Yeah.
And then on Friday, we'll be in the western side of Cuyahoga County.
Have fun.
You can add up the gas mileage in there. We had those, we had those flyover commercials with like Ohio State.
Yeah.
Literally, you're seeing both ends of the flyover commercial this week.
Mm-hmm. Yes. See, and you guys talk about it, with football and stuff. We range from everywhere. We go as far south as Portage County and everywhere.
We will be down there at Crestwood coming up.
And that would
later in the month.
And that will be a fun one for sure.
A lot of talent across the CVC, but also, good evaluation points for every team that competes, especially at a high level. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you, I don't think we saw this score coming tonight.
No. I think just a great shooting night by Jefferson. They haven't missed a lot of shots. Madison's gotten the looks that they want. Some of them just aren't falling. A lot of good looks at the basket. Their defense has been overall pretty sound tonight. They're not giving up a lot of open shots. Some things just aren't falling on the offensive end as Offenberg splits a player.
Mm-hmm. And again, you're right. It's just he might pull
step
one up
back.
again.
Anthony Cavell. Oh, he missed it. He wanted it. Great hustle. Joel Navarro goes crashing into the locker room. Oh, my
Great
goodness.
effort.
That's a winning play. Padilla, scoop layup. He banks it in.
Those are points. Those are points that Jefferson earned.
Absolutely. He almost took out the fan sitting over there on that side of the bleachers. What a great hustle play by Joel Navarro.
I saw the trash can. I thought it was like, whoa.
At least he didn't tumble into it. Max Steele, righty scoop. It's good. Max Steele on a good dribble drive. Starting to find a little bit of a groove. Maybe that can carry over to the next contest for these Blue Streaks. It's 66-39, 6 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Jefferson all over the Blue Streaks. Good sussy move. Pull-up jumper. Luis Padilla, almost said Joel Navarro. My bad. Luis Padilla, step back, splash.
Padilla feeling pretty good about that shot.
Mm-hmm. Tomko, little floater. Left it a little short. Didn't get the roll. Offenberg, offensive board. Won't go. And a foul underneath on number 10. That is George Zura. And Offenberg will go back to the free throw line once again here with 5:45 to go here in the fourth quarter.
And like you mentioned, every minute of this matters. You notice really across the board, most of a good chunk of the starters still out there for both teams.
I mean, this is only game now number 9 for Jefferson. Probably still trying to get that groove, and once you're in it, keep it and play those minutes.
And as you mentioned too, and again the conditioning, both teams, not playing competitive basketball since the holiday break.
Madison luckily had a game against Perry. Spin move, Cavetta is ice cold tonight. Anthony Cavetta floats it in. It's a 30-point lead with 5.5 to go for the Jefferson Falcons. Step through steal, left it short, offensive rebound, left it short again. Out comes Padilla, got a 3-on-2, shovel pass, Cavetta, scoop layup, banks it in. Anthony Cavetta, Luis Padilla connect on the break.
That was from the basketball fundamentals clinic. that action there.
The basketball gods are loving what they just saw right there. What a great transition. Honestly, moment there by Jefferson. 5-6 to go. Check that, 5 minutes to go. Tomko hangs, banks, and scores. Under 5 to go. It's 72-42, 30-point lead here for Jefferson.
And Jefferson, they did the smart thing defensively. Hands up. Don't give
foul.
up any silly fouls.
Padilla, shovel pass, Navarro. Banker is good. The bank is open all night tonight.
They
for the
can't
Falcons.
miss.
No, they can't. They are hotter than fish grease. Shout out Mark Jones. Spin move. Tomko, high arcer, splash. Some highlights here in the fourth quarter. Hope you guys are entertained on CVC TV tonight. Whew. I'm running out of breath here, Double A.
No, you're good.
Cavetta tries to get it inside to Brown, knocked away by Parker Williams, and it will stay with Jefferson. A lot going on here in that fourth quarter.
I actually fired up some fish the other day. You're good.
Love.
Put some seasoning on there.
There you go.
Good.
Cavetta fires, splash! Nothing but twine. It's string music tonight for Cavetta.
That was some seasoning on that three-pointer.
Had a little sauce with that. My goodness. I still thought about it. Parker Williams, under 4 to go, 3:57 left on the clock. Drive by Magda, little fader, bank shot is good. And it's a 31-point game now here with under 4 to go in the fourth quarter. This clock is moving.
Well, so is this offense. This Falcons
Absolutely.
offense really pushing.
Firing on all cylinders. Great pass by Cavetta. What a dime. Terry Brown. Banker's good.
He did a phenomenal job.
Wow.
Great pass to
Great
score.
steal. Steal on the sprint. Scoop layup is good. And somebody needs to make a highlight reel tonight.
Great response by Steele.
Absolutely. Again, senior guard means a lot to this offense. See him get going. Cavetta, sauces, floater, splash. Anthony Cavetta is having a night tonight. Woo. Can't stop that, man. Dom Magda, transition three. Little strong rebound. Checked out Parker Williams, missed it. Tried to get it back. Cavetta comes away with it, and he might be near another double-double tonight.
And we haven't talked about Williams tonight, but he's one of those players, again, for the Blue Streaks, the impact player.
Absolutely.
On both sides of the ball, particularly on defense.
Good size for sure. He's lanky, he's tall. You see him taking the defensive matchup of the man of the hour. Little shoulder shake. Terry Brown floater, missed it wide, and Steele comes away with it on the break.
Brown works very hard. He almost.
Terry Brown is everywhere, and Steele comes away with it. Lead pass to Picard, pump fake, Banker, it's good. What a sequence. Terry Brown misses a shot on the block, comes down, puts his body on the floor, doesn't come away with it, but the effort by the Falcons is something different tonight. And a standing O from this Jefferson crowd. They are loving what they're seeing out of these starters.
And I think both teams are putting in their reserves here. What a night. What a night on both sides. We'll talk a little bit about it in the post show, but this Jefferson team, the effort, unreal tonight.
Absolutely what I expected from the Falcons. Madison's still looking to find that groove. Shetler at the free throw line, twirling, finding wide open. That was Caleb Welzert missing the three. And he gets a steal. Great effort by Welzert. Missed the shot. Gets a steal at the other end with 2 ticks to go here in the fourth quarter.
Now, these minutes matter for everybody that's on the floor because they want to get starter minutes.
Next year, these are some of the guys you're going to be hearing next year on CVC TV or reading in the articles next year written by, I was going to say yours truly, but I'll just say myself.
Cameron Palmer, for anybody who wants to know.
Just so you know. Jack Collins gets it to Luke Laurie. Swings it over, wide open. Splash! Number 25, not on the roster.
And I'm gonna add one more thing. You said for next year, It's still middle of the season where you could get
absolutely.
minutes now. You could get minutes
You
in
can
the
earn
second
them.
half.
Shetler tried to get fancy, had it blocked. Bodies hit the ground. I don't know who came away with that. It was Sean McClatchich. I apologize if I mispronounced your name. It's a fancy one. And Caleb Welser is going to go to the free throw line. A lot going on here in the waning moments tonight with 1 minute to go.
Yeah, complete line shift, But these are the minutes that matter, for these players.
Absolutely.
Wondering why why are you playing hard to score is what it is. And you have that opportunity to earn starter minutes, to earn critical substitution minutes in the second half of the season.
And coaches love having deep rotations, once you get into those playoff games when coaches typically shorten their lineups. Some coaches would probably love to be able to go 9-10 guys deep off the bench. It could be a game changer.
Or you
for
could
any
become
team.
that sixth man.
Absolutely.
In that shortened rotation,
and just
you're
take
that critical
over.
piece.
Yes, and I've seen a lot of guys who could be a starter or a sixth man on any team across the conference tonight. A lot of guys showing out wide open. That was Jay Dewey missed the three, and it will go to the Falcons. 41.6 seconds left in the fourth quarter, and a great win by the Jefferson Falcons. A much-needed one, as there will be a three-way tie atop the Chagrin Valley Conference Lake Division. Wide open, missed it. Rebound goes to Jack Collins. It's Grady Lenzian on the shot. 25, left it short. Great effort by Preston Hitchcock. Hats off to you, young man, on that effort.
Man, I'll tell you what, every time a play like that happens, it seems personal. It's not.
It's a rivalry out here tonight. It's okay.
It's like in order to get that ball to bounce, I have to, smack that back.
Yes. And sometimes that's what it takes. The clock winds down, and this one is about over. A 29-point win and a great showing by the Jefferson Falcons, who improve to 7-2 and 4-1 in the Chagrin Valley Conference Lake Division. Madison's going to fall to 6-4 and 4-1 in the conference. 82-53, your final score tonight.
Well, I'll just say this for final thoughts, and I think the player of the game is obvious. We'll get to that in a second. But again, for this Falcons team, home, getting their first exposure. Again, they're new in this conference. So just getting that exposure, huge in getting a W. And from minute one on, they showed out. But really, this was kind of a close game until the last couple minutes of the second quarter.
They really started hitting some shots.
They hit key shots, and then at the top of the third quarter, it became a blitz. And this Falcons team really, really impressed tonight.
Absolutely.
And for this Madison team, they were leading this division. They're still in that three-way tie, as you mentioned.
Assuming Geneva wins tonight against Lakeside.
Yeah, assuming they win. And speaking of which, Geneva the next game
for
against Madison.
So things are going to get even more interesting by the end of this week.
So
folks.
Madison has to turn this around quickly.
Yes.
Because
it's the rival. It's for top spot in the conference. A lot of riding when the Blue Streaks and Eagles face off tonight, this week at Madison coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's clear, player of the game.
Terry Brown?
Terry Brown was very impressive. I'll say that. But
a lot of options tonight.
Anthony Cavetta.
Absolutely.
You told me coming into today, all right, this is the real deal.
He's a dude.
And he legitimately could be one of the best players in this entire conference. What he was able to do, had 22 points in the first half, added more in the stat count in the second half. But his impact defensively, but he could make any shot on the floor.
Absolute, coolly, calmly collected, just pulling it from anywhere, and it was butter all night long.
And the Madison defense, which has been their strength throughout the year, and it still is, really had to kind of overcompensate for Cavetta. You saw a few more double teams in the second half, but it was too little too late, and he had his way. Our player of the game tonight, Anthony Cavetta, for Jefferson area Falcons, absolute absolute dog here tonight.
And I want to kind of just some final thoughts for Madison. This kind of reminds me of that West G game from a few weeks ago. West G hits 11 threes, a bunch of guys get in on the action, and it ends up, the score ends up being relatively the same as what it is tonight. That's kind of what happened tonight. The defense played pretty good. Nobody was open. They were contesting shots well. The shots were just falling in. Nothing really to hang your hat on tonight, kind of hang your head on tonight for Madison. They put up 53 points. They're going to win a lot of games doing that. If a team's hot, they're hot, and it's hard to win games when somebody's hitting a bunch of threes.
Cameron, great job filling in for Kyle tonight.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and it's a true honor, and I look forward to being on CVC TV again at some point this year.
Yeah, this should be fantastic. All right, take us home. You got the sponsor. Go ahead, take us home.
And one last time tonight, folks, the presenting sponsor of CVC TV is the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Doctors Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Their specialties include dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery with their website at www.ohsurgery.com. Thank you for your support of the Chagrin Valley Conference and CVC TV. One more time, that's ohsurgery.com. It was a beautiful win for the Jefferson Falcons, 82-53. Your final tonight. Good night, everybody.